Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and yes, today is your second dose of the salty batch files for the week. And at this point in time, I'm sure a lot of those embargoes for the Hellblade 2 reviews are coming out, so we're going to get some more salt in the following week, I assure you of that. But for today, we got a lot of damage control going on, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, first and foremost here, like I said, welcome back to another episode of the Salty Batch Files. First and foremost, I also wanted to let you know that we're going to give Colt Eastwood the week off at this point. He keeps putting his foot in his mouth. We're going to give him the week off because I'm sure, again, after the Hellblade 2 release, we're going to have some nonsense posted from him. So be on the lookout for that, I'm sure. But let's start off strong here with Astal, the guy that likes to make an ass of himself 24/7 as well. Quoting, "Thank you, Sony." What is he thanking Sony for? Well, according to Wario64, pulling up from an article, not Wario necessarily himself, Square Enix confirms US EU layoffs as part of the restructuring publishing IT Square Enix collective indie games label predominantly affected via the Video Games Chronicle. So, due to Square Enix layoffs, this is entirely all Sony's fault. It's because Sony fans and Sony themselves are at fault for people not buying enough copies of Final Fantasy VII Remake and Final Fantasy XVI is what he's alluding to here. And again, in regards to my last Square Enix video, in regards to the Salty Batch Files, we did go over all those multi-platform games that were not being supported by all platforms well enough, apparently. So This is all Sony's fault, by the way. No, the clarification of this asshole, you freaking moron, is the fact that this is happening due to consolidation, due to rising costs of everything and development costs, this, that, and the other. Square Enix is not the only one affected. Everything under the Microsoft umbrella is done. Layoffs, as well as Sony, as well as Amazon, as well as every single company out there. For the most part, has had the layoffs, and due to many of the reasons above, and then some. So no, not thank you, Sony, you frickin' idiot. This is just a nonsensical post, and again, shows the true salt to try and place blame on anybody else, especially Sony, when it comes to an Xbox eccentric like himself. Let's keep going here. So, this one's from Riskit here. We'll post this right now, right? This is interesting because this is such ludicrous thinking, and I'll tell you why. But here, imagine if Xbox games went to PlayStation in preparation for the new Xbox being able to access PlayStation games through Steam. ... So, essentially a full-on PC for the most part. Is that what we're getting at here? Is a full-on PC? That's your rhetoric here? That's what's going to save Xbox in the hardware space? Is it becoming a PC when you can, get a PC right now? Like, it makes no sense. He's tried to do this before, as well as other Xbox eccentrics out there. They've tried to do this before. Trying to, let's rebuttal this real quick. Like many other forms of everything, Sony can block the access of their games, whether this ends up being via Steam, whether it has an Epic launcher, whether it has whatever launcher, they're going to find ways to block this. That's what they've done with the other God of Wars and stuff like that as well, right? So just kind of want to push that to the side. The main core issue of this here is the fact that we're looking at a PC. So, yes, I really don't have words for this. This is how ignorant this post is. And we actually have people backing this up. Well, if it's just a simple plug and play because of blah, 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 you can plug and play your PC, the open platform, a pre-built into your TVs that supports FreeSync, G-Sync. Even if it doesn't, you might have some workarounds. However, you can plug it in and it's going to work. You know what I mean? Like this is a PC that you're talking about. This is so absurd that you think that this is the next step that Xbox needs to do. This is the grand scheme, the grand collective here is Xbox basically being a PC. What? let's keep going before I continue to lose more brain cells and give myself a headache trying to think of anything why that would be a successful iteration. But anyways, let's bring up Kareem. Kareem, he hasn't been featured in a post for a little bit here, so I just wanted to share this here. He thought this was brilliant. He thought this was a brilliant post. The photo that started it all. Watch the full video linked below because he's such a cultural phenomenon. This guy who, again, blasted most of his user base, which nobody follows him anymore as far as interactions with likes or comments or anything on social media, because he was geared towards a lot of religious-based takes and subject matters. And then when that failed and just completely fell off a cliff, he turned over thinking he could be accepted, and he was accepted into the sheepish Xbox community that just took him in, even though he was basically pretty much a fraudulent gamer. He was a very casual, and then he went and decided to go on full-on Xbox shill here. But yes, this is not the photo that started it all. You made ridiculous posts before this. You thought it was cute wearing a Starfield shirt in front of Spider-Man 2. And again, you wonder why people kind of, aim towards you and give you these rhetorics back to you. And then you sit around and claim victim. But good job on you, mates. That's really great. Let's continue on here because there's not much more to be said about that there. But General MLD, yes, he's back making his grand appearance once again, stating, reminder, Xbox fans like third-person adventure games in smaller doses. Making fun of Sony having too many does not equal not liking them. Happy to clarify. No, you had many other posts, and we can definitely pull the receipts, MLD, if you want, where you literally slammed them, not being because there's too many. There's not too many. Is it the one leading aspect on PlayStation? Perhaps to a point, but that doesn't make the game not good. That doesn't make the games not wanting to be playable. In fact, a lot of you guys have been salivating over those, whether it be Uncharted 4, whether it be The Last of Us, God of War, you name it. If you had those on your platform, sure as shit, you're not going to be sitting there downplaying those games. You're going to be playing them and talking to the moon, because of the quality that does exude. Whether it's a first-person shooter, whether it's an STS, or, strategy game, if I can talk right, whether it's any sort of genre, if it has that quality and it's a must-play game, you're going to play it. No one's ever sitting there saying, there's too many sports games, there's too many RTS games, there's too many RPGs, Stop it. There's a ton of different genres, whether that be the bulk of a first-party studio output or not. Oh well, great games are great games. This is you being prime grade salty and you trying to have a retort back in regards to beefing up and bolstering the hype behind Hellblade 2, which we will see what that scores and what the all-around functionality is. Hard rumor is right now, and don't quote this, grain of salt, that it is 4 hours to complete if you're just kind of going in and through it. I don't know how much there is to claim to that, so again, grain of salt. That's just some rumor mill stuff floating around today, so please don't take that to heart. I don't know yet. We'll find out very soon. Moving on to Falco X here, the bird brain himself. Get ready for the review bombings of Xbox first-party games, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Can't say that 10 times fast. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, because it's not on PlayStation. All of a sudden, we have an issue with review bombing, even though it's been happening with Helldivers 2 or any other PlayStation first-party game in particular. It's always been okay, but now here comes the Xbox first-party game, and now we have to damage control. Now we have to sit there and make it apparent that there's going to be some review bombing. I do not condone it. I don't condone anybody that's watching this channel to ever review bomb, whether it's an Xbox game, Nintendo game, PlayStation game. That sucks for the companies. That sucks for us. That sucks for the devs in particular. Don't do that. That doesn't help out anybody. It doesn't help your crusade. So let me put that out there as well. But I do want to emphasize his post with the fact that now it's an issue. Even though this whole time before it wasn't an issue, he never spoke out against it when it was a Sony PlayStation first-party game. But here we are. Damage control at its finest, buddy. Yeah, about that. Let's keep going here. So, Snap Blast Play. This was, by the time of this recording, I got this today. He is still on it, folks. I mean, he is tried and true. Redfall on Xbox got too much fake hate, and he has a video that plays on this post, by the way. I'm not going to capture it. I won't subject you to the boringness of what this is. There's a reason why it scored as low as it did. This is not Xbox tax. This is no hidden agenda. This game absolutely bombed at the beginning of its launch. It didn't have the 60 frames per second. It wasn't working. It's jerky. It's glitchy. They supposedly fixed a lot of things now, but a boring, bland game is still a boring, bland game. The studio is being dissolved, if you will, now. They're going to have one final update that's supposedly supposed to give you an offline mode and all that stuff, but at least there's that, right, for when the server shuts down. But, I mean, stop. What are you doing here? And why are you playing Redfall again? Why are you showing clips of that? Look, I'm not going to bash anybody for liking a game. That's not the point, because anybody can like any other game. All of our opinions are subjective to that. But it's Redfall. That's like saying Balan Wonderworld is your favorite game of the year when it released. I call cap. I'm sure there's a handful of people in the world or so that did enjoy games like Balan or Redfall. I'm not denying that to a point. But to sit there and build it up and saying it got too much fake hate is incorrect, more misinformation, and just more capping going on. Stop. It's not a good game. I can admit there's some, so to speak, games that I've liked in the past that are not that great. I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, that didn't deserve that score. The only game that I feel that way about, truly, 110%, is Days Gone. And there's a lot of reasons behind that. That's the one-off there. But for the most part, usually the reviews are pretty spot on as a general consensus. Knock your crap off. And why are you still playing it, dude? Stop it. And he has a pretty decent following, that guy does too here. So let's wrap it up with one final piece here, because again, we're going to have a ton of salt due to Hellblade releasing this week for the following Salty Batch Files. But again, General MLD couldn't help but make another pass post here. Game Pass can raise prices due to higher tiers. He's given the okay to pay more money and raise prices. Great on you. And it will still be better than PS Plus. All right. More, bigger, better day one games. That's how wide the gap is. Charge what you want. Rake us over the coals. Continue to give us low quality first party games for the most part. Day one. It doesn't matter because it's better than PS Plus. It's better than PS Plus. The ultimate shilling, the ultimate capping, the ultimate damage control of them inevitably raising prices because of COD being on there day one. It's a matter of time before it's raised, so here we are. Guys, it's okay. Because it's still better than PS Plus, so it's okay. We'll pay whatever. It's okay to raise those prices. Game Pass has been the biggest downfall for Xbox as a hardware piece of system. But it's okay to keep charging this, and it's okay to keep supporting Game Pass and doing whatever we need to do. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the types of figureheads that speak for the Xbox community and puts it in a bad light. I think it's in everybody's best interest to call the BS when you see it, but I digress. That being said, that'll be the final one here. I appreciate you all sticking around for the entirety of the video. As always, thank you, thank you, thank you. At this point in time, we are at 1,755 subs out of that 2,000 goal. Thank you all for your support. The fact that we keep growing is phenomenal, and it astounds me every day. I truly mean that. I'm not just putting word salad out there. Thank you so much. That being said, to help out that algorithm, please like the video if you can. Also comment. Would love to hear from you. That does help out the algorithm so much. And of course, if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. Thanks again. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. And remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see you guys next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.